As you can see, this is the anterior view of the brainstem. We can see here this is pons, and this is mesencephalon or midbrain. Then you can see the medulla, and on medulla you can see the pyramids, and you can see two olives, and you can also see between the pyramid and olive you can see this nerve coming out, and this is hypoglossal nerve. Then there are also nerves coming out here between pons and medulla, the junction of the pons and medulla, and you can see this nerve coming out, and this is abducent nerve. Abducent nerve. Just lateral to the abducent nerve, you have this nerve with two roots. It has a sensory root as well as a motor root. This nerve is the facial nerve. And lateral to the facial nerve, there's another nerve coming out, which is vestibulocochlear nerve. You can see this very clearly in the anterior view of the brainstem, and obviously you can see here the trigeminal nerve coming out of the front of the pons, and you can see that it has a big sensory root. The trigeminal nerve has a big sensory root and a small motor root. So it has two roots, a sensory root which is larger and a small motor root. Then you can see that if you look carefully, you will see that there are other nerves coming out. If you after vestibulocochlear, there's a glossopharyngeal nerve, and then below the glossopharyngeal we have vagus nerve. Then finally we have the spinal part and the cranial part of the accessory nerve. So we have accessory nerve, which is the 11th cranial nerve, and then we have the hypoglossal nerve, which is the 12th cranial nerve. You can see in front of this medulla, you can see this is the decussation of the pyramids, the motor decussation. Here on medulla you can see the decussation of pyramids. This is motor decussation, the decussation of pyramids here. If we look at the other parts of the brainstem, the midbrain, this is mesencephalon, and this part of the mesencephalon, which is visible here on the front view of the brainstem, this part is known as crus cerebri. You can see this is crus cerebri on both sides, or we can also call them cerebral peduncles. You know, cerebral peduncles are part of midbrain, which include crus cerebri and the tegmentum. The tegmentum is obviously behind this crus cerebri. If you look at these two structures rounded, these are mammillary bodies. They are visible on the front of this midbrain, and below the mammillary bodies you can see there is an interpeduncular fossa, and this arising from here, from the interpeduncular fossa lateral side, this is the oculomotor nerve, cranial nerve 3. And we can also see just in the floor of this fossa, interpeduncular fossa, in the floor of this fossa you can see, it's not clearly visible, the posterior perforated substance. Obviously there are two anterior perforated substances here, just close to the optic chiasma on its